I'm Abby Reeves. I'm a second grade teacher at Austin Ridge, and I'm going to show you how I do mystery Skype in my classroom. So the first thing is you have to have Skype downloaded on your computer. So you can download it off the internet, but also Charity can help you do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open Skype, but I have to make sure that my USB cable to my Promethean board is not plugged in because it'll mess up the pen and everything else. So make sure your USB is not plugged in. And then you open up Skype on your computer. If you don't have a username, it'll take you through a few steps to set up a username and password. It's pretty easy to do. Maybe. And you'll hear that sound. And now the kids all know what that sound means when it comes out. So from Skype, you see I'm signed in as Miss Reeves ARE. You can see your contacts over here. So the people that I have Skype with or that I've connected with. And then you also see your recent contacts are often people who have requested you, either people that you are going to Skype with in the future that want to Skype with you. And in order to set up your mystery Skype, there's just a website through Microsoft. So you can type in mystery Skype in the Google search bar and it'll get you there. But from that page, you can either find a classroom to play with, or if you want to see a video of tutorial how to do it, you can do that. But what I do is I typically, if I'm searching for a certain area, you can narrow down your age group that you want to Skype with, your subject that you want to Skype them about, the country you want to Skype with them in. We've mostly done in the US, but we have done a couple other countries, and then language if you want to make sure that you're only Skyping in English. Probably a good idea. And then you can search, and then it'll come up with some different classrooms for people who want to Skype with you. Once you register and make your account on the Microsoft website, it'll ask you to connect it with your Skype, and then other people are likely to start requesting you. So I get maybe 5 or 6 emails a week of other classrooms requesting to Skype with us, and you can see that teacher's information, see what state they're in, see how many Skypes they've done before, see if you're interested. Because I got about 3 New Hampshire requests last week, and we've already Skyped New Hampshire twice. So those are the ones we opt out of. So if you're looking to do a certain state or a certain region of the U.S., especially if you're doing geography, you can use this site to sort of narrow down your search. And you put your email in so people can email you directly and ask, or you can also use your Skype name so people can just ask you on Skype directly. And so once you get your request going, you email with the person, decide on the time. One thing I would suggest is make sure you talk about the time zone before, because I've had a couple where I called them and I was all ready to go with my class, and they said, it's only 10:30 here, and I said, it's 11:30 here, we're ready to go. So make sure you're in the same time zone, or figure that out while you're emailing. And then what we do is we get everyone in their seats, and I typically just turn my computer towards the class. And when we hit call, I have the kids come up to the computer and ask their question. We usually have a greeter or someone to say, hi, we're looking forward to guessing your state and you're guessing ours. And then you ask yes or no questions only. We have these question cards that we pass out, so everyone has a different question card. Pacific Ocean, different regions. And then at the beginning of the year, I just handed them out and I told which child was going up to decide so we could mark it out. But now I have them sort of running the show. Hopefully by the end of the year they'll be doing it completely on their own, where they figure out what kinds of questions should we ask first to narrow it down in the U.S., what kinds of questions should we ask next, instead of just immediately saying, does your state have 2 words? We like to narrow it down to the region first so we sort of have a better idea. And these are the maps that every kid gets. I just print them offline and put them in a sheet protector. And then they can use a dry erase marker to mark out the states as we go. So if they know that they're not in the South, they can mark off everything below Kansas. And then whichever ones they have left, we start making guesses towards the end. And then the other class is doing the same thing to guess ours. So we just do yes or no questions back and forth until we can guess what state they're in. We have had some classes that are older want to do what county they're in or even what city they're in. So we printed out maps of Vermont and guessed what city in Vermont that class was in. That's for the older kids mostly. And we've done it with the world as well, so we have a world map where we narrow it down to the hemisphere and then to the different countries that they might be in. It's really fun, and my kids love it, and we can pretty much do a session in 20 or 30 minutes. The longest one, we couldn't guess Pennsylvania for a really long time, so that one took like maybe 35 minutes. But usually it takes 20 minutes, and then we usually share some facts about North Carolina, about Alston Ridge. Classes love to hear that we have over 1,000 kids at our school, and they love to hear that we have 10 second grade classes. It blows their mind. So especially if you're in 4th grade or something studying the state, having different state facts to share would also be good practice for them for their own knowledge, and they get to ask questions from the other states too. And I guess, what?
To unplug?
Unplug?
To connect to the Promethean board again.
Oh, you have to make sure that your video cable is hooked up, but your audio cable cannot be hooked up while you're Skyping. So after you're done with your Skype, you have to exit out and then completely come down here, right-click, and you have to completely quit the Skype and wait until it goes away from your dashboard before you can plug this back in. Otherwise, your pen won't work. You'll have to re-download the driver. It's a big hassle. So make sure it's completely gone, and now I can plug it back in. Yeah, I think that's it.